trying to drop some fat? Well, listen up, because I'm going over the best diet for fat loss. If you're someone that's tried every single diet out there and are sick and tired of not losing weight and are frustrated, you want to pay attention, because I'm going to spit some facts at you to make sure that we lose the weight and, more importantly, keep it off. So there's a lot of crazy things out there. Everyone's doing this, everyone's doing that, but I am here to give you the facts of exactly what you need to do to make sure that you drop some fat and make sure that you enjoy the process. So the first thing you want to do, no matter what we're doing in terms of a diet, right? Doesn't matter if you're doing keto, doesn't matter if you're doing paleo, doesn't matter if you're doing intermittent fasting, doesn't matter if you're vegan, doesn't matter if you're vegetarian, or even if you're doing carnivore, right? There are some basic things for you to follow if you want to lose weight. So I'm here to set the record straight to make sure that you get the habits and the rituals, and more importantly, the insights that you need to make sure that you lose the fat. So curious out there though, who here has tried any of those diets that I just talked about? So if you tried one of them, say it in the comments below. If you said, if you tried keto, put keto. If you tried intermittent fasting, just put intermittent fasting. If you tried any of those weight loss shots, put that in there as well. I know that's a hot topic right now. And if you are just following a regular balanced diet, you've got some great success from that. I know that's not really mainstream, but put that down there as well. So now I'm going to go over some key points to make sure that you have the best diet for your fat loss. So it doesn't matter what you have, you don't follow number one. Very important here, right? Is you want to make sure that you are in a calorie deficit. So what I mean by that is that your body needs naturally so many calories to function. Maybe it's just to do activities of daily living, just walking, put on your clothes, eating, drinking, sleeping, this, that, and the other, right? So there's a lot of different calculations out there. There's a lot of different ways that you can come up with that. But if you're eating more than what your body needs, you're going to gain weight. And if you eat a little bit less, odds are we're going to start losing weight. But the secret is that your body doesn't want to lose weight. So we want to make sure that we do some things here, right? So the first thing is to make sure that we're in a calorie deficit, right? And there's a couple of different ways that you can go about that. Is, check on your energy levels. So if you're always tired throughout the day, it's going to be hard to maintain and be consistent with that. So if your energy levels are low, what you should focus on is incorporating some kind of systems where you get energy. There's a couple different ways you can get energy, right? Now your body naturally has its own energy source called glycogen. It's in your muscles. It's a sugar, right? It's broken down for pretty much anything that you eat. But your body's primary source is carbohydrates. Now, I know that's a taboo subject right now. I know that's one of those things that a lot of people say carbs are bad, stay away from me, right? But your body's used to using it, so let's use our natural energy source that we have. So I'm not saying you need to go out and just eat a whole bunch of carbs right away, because your body's going to go into this thing called rest and digest, and you're going to get really tired. So a good example of this is when you're at Thanksgiving, you have a whole plate of potatoes and corn and noodles and bread and rolls and all that stuff. It's a lot of carbs all at once. So your body naturally wants to relax. One of the best things that you can do after having a large meal like that, little tidbit of information, is go for a walk. That we start using that energy source right away. So if your energy levels are low, you want to make sure that we are slowly increasing our calories. Nothing too crazy. And what I mean by that is use natural sources. Use things like fruit, right? Nature's candy. So we're going to increase some fruit here. We want to stay away from, processed stuff like pills, some Red Bull, energy drinks, things like that, because that's not going to solve the problem. That's only going to cause, it's a band-aid to the issue, right? You're always going to keep going to that. Eventually, when you have a lot of that processed stuff in your body, it's going to start reacting to your body in a lot of different ways. So I'm not saying that, a good cup of coffee on a cold day isn't good. Trust me, I'm a big believer in having coffee. But, using your body's natural energy source to make sure you have enough energy for the day is key. So staying in a calorie deficit can be very tricky. But that's the first thing we want to focus on, is making sure that we are in a calorie deficit. Is that making sense right now? Let me know in the comments below with a yes or a no, and I'll come back and I will revisit the answer with you on a one-on-one basis. So the second thing that we want to do, right, is we want to make sure that we are keeping hunger at bay. So if we're too hungry throughout the day, we're too, again, our energy levels are too low, then we're not going to be able to be consistent with it. So the second one is being consistent with it. So what I mean by that is we want to make sure that, throughout the 24 hours, 24/7 here, that we are able to maintain what we're doing. We don't want to just go on like a crash diet for 5 days and the weekend comes and all of a sudden we're having a whole bunch of cake and pizza and donuts and things that we shouldn't have. Now those things are great in moderation, but if you always go to those things on the weekends, then let's focus on creating a calorie deficit on the weekends. Focus on those guardrails of what you need. There's a bunch of different things out there that you can do to make sure that you enjoy a birthday party, a cookout. We got some holidays coming up, enjoying those things, summertime, and still losing weight. So we want to make sure that we're controlling, every single day, not just the days when we feel like it, right? So being consistent with what we're doing is number 2. All right, bad handwriting here, all right? So number 3, right, is you need to be patient. So, it takes time to get your fat loss off. So if you're someone that goes to these quick fixes all the time and you're upset that you can't keep dropping 20 pounds every week, well, your body naturally doesn't want to lose weight. So we have to almost trick it into getting there, right? So there's a lot of different ways that you can be consistent with what you're doing. Now, notice that I'm saying consistent and not perfect, right? So if you try to be perfect with every single thing, as soon as things don't go your way, you're going to say, screw it, I'm done. And that's where most people mess up, is at the end, is that they don't see that things are moving in the right direction. They're not giving themselves enough time, enough grace to get where they want to be. Then things aren't going to work the way that they want to work. So how do you be consistent? How do you make sure that you're being patient? How do you make sure that you're being in calorie deficit, right? Is to make sure that you have a plan. And more importantly, stick to it. See number 1. So if you have a plan, you want to follow it. You want to put guardrails on. You want to protect yourself from having this shiny object syndrome. You get distracted with what you want to do. So there you have it, folks. That's the down and dirty version of the best diet to follow. Following the steps, right? Number 1, we want to make sure that we're in a calorie deficit. We want to make sure that we have enough energy to maintain and do the things that we need to do, right? Then number 2 is we want to be consistent with what we're doing. We don't want to just make sure that we're enjoying, the diet on the week, and then when the weekend comes, saying, screw it, I'm done, which goes right into number 3, right, is being patient with what we're doing. Give yourself enough time, enough grace to start losing weight. Now, the golden rule of weight loss is about half a pound to a pound a week. Now, if you're someone that has a lot more weight to lose, odds are you're probably going to drop a lot right at the beginning, but if you don't set these foundations, you don't follow the plan, and continue to put those guardrails in, then odds are you're just going to keep losing the same 5-10 pounds over and over again, and you're really frustrated. All right, well, hopefully this was insightful. I like doing these. Let me know if you like this with a thumbs up. Give me a share. I appreciate it. And if there's any topics or anything like that you would like for me to cover, let me know. I would love to do a training on it. All right, well, I hope you all have a great rest of your day. And if you're someone that does need help, let me know in the comments below. Put me, M-E, and I'll reach out and get you rock and rolling to a better you. All right, well, I'll catch you on the flippy flop. Peace.